welcome to the first Climber News of the school year. I'm Riley Emmons.
And I'm Kaylin Birch. Climber News is dedicated to bringing you the news and happenings of the Urbana City School District and the surrounding area. Thank you for joining us.
A new school year brings new faces. There are several new teachers at UHS. Let's meet them. Miss Flory is a new English teacher here at UHS. Replacing Mrs. Smith, Miss Flory teaches a total of 5 classes including freshman and sophomore classes. Recently, she graduated from Wittenberg and subbed for a year in the area before getting the job at Urbana. She loves her job at Urbana. The staff is very supportive, she has a good mentor, and says her students are wonderful. Miss Flory said that at a young age she wanted to teach.
I've always wanted to be a teacher. When I was little, I would sit my dad down and line him up against my stuffed animals, and I would teach them his ABCs and 2 + 2 = 4, things like that. And then once I reached college, I decided that I wanted to fulfill my dream.
John Daniels, or Mr. Daniels, is a 30-year-old teacher out of Wittenberg University who is from Springfield, Ohio. He is a new teacher at Urbana High School for the 2015-16 school year. He teaches government and history. He is also the head football coach of the Urbana Hill Climbers. He hopes to connect with his students and athletes that he coaches and hopes they continue to achieve in their classrooms. Mr. Daniels also explains what he likes about his job.
It's fun. It allows you to, in my opinion, it allows you to get a more deep connection with your students and your athletes as well. The guys I have out on the field get to come see me in a professional environment and how I approach my job on a day-to-day basis. And it helps me get to know my students better, getting them outside the classroom, seeing them in adverse roles at times, and that's certainly what sports does for young men, is put them in adverse roles. So I think that's a huge advantage I have.
Another new teacher is Mr. Edwards. He teaches American government, modern world history, and American studies. Mr. Edwards graduated from Wittenberg and Miami, Florida University. His hobbies include comic books, reading, and drawing. He was born in New York and has lived in Chicago, Pittsburgh, and Miami. While Urbana is the smallest town that he has ever lived in, he says he likes what our town and school have to offer.
What do I think about Urbana? I've lived in Urbana for well over a year now, probably closer to 10, and yeah, it's not bad. It's got a lot of small town charm. How's that?
Mr. Saunders, also known as Paco, has returned to Urbana High School part-time after 2 years of retirement. He has invested 29 years at Urbana and a total of 34 years teaching Spanish education. He has taken over 300 students to various countries, including Costa Rica and Mexico. Paco believes that having the opportunity to travel with his students is a privilege and is important to their education because it indulges them into the Spanish culture. Previously, Paco had taught Spanish 4 and 5, however he currently teaches Spanish 1 and 2, which he says has been a fun change-up.
It's a big change. I really enjoy it. I had Spanish 2, 3, 4, and 5 for many years. So to come in where the kids, basically they don't know much. They know a few numbers and that, but they don't know much, but they're really excited to learn the Spanish language, and it's good to see kids that really want to learn.
Another teacher coming out of retirement this year is Madame Woodgard. Madame retired from UHS in 2009 after more than 30 years of teaching, but has come back to teach in the afternoons this school year. Madame Woodgard is teaching 2 classes of French 2 and a French 3 class this year. In addition to the new teachers, there are several other changes that students are adjusting to here at UHS. Najee Honore explains the new rules.
Urbana High School has begun enforcing rules and creating new policies for the 2015-2016 school year. These changes include a new grading scale, restrictions on technology, a slight change to the dress code, and park testing in exchange for the OGT. The new grading scale is based on a 10-point scale, which is similar to the scale of most schools. The PE teacher, Mr. Turner, and student Jack Harris believe the change will be a positive one.
I think the grading scale is a good change for us because it evens out the playing field for our students, because a lot of other high schools have gone to it. So a lot of their grades would be higher compared to ours, but it's based on a different grading scale, and with colleges. So think with kids going to college and getting scholarships and being compared to other schools with grades and graduation rates and stuff like that, I think it evens out the playing field.
I like the new grading scale because it's easier to get better grades, and that will make my GPA better so I can get accepted to college easier.
The minor change to the dress code is the permission of students to wear holes below the knees. Reaction to the change is mixed. The phone policy is being enforced this year as well. The reaction to this enforcement is mixed. While the students frown upon it, the teachers and principal, Mrs. Mays, view the policy as a positive change.
I believe that the phone policy this year, which is technically no official change from last year, just being enforced the way that it was written, is working so far. Doesn't mean we don't have issues ever, but it's working by far better than it did at the start of last school year.
And so at Urbana High School, with all the new policies and extra additions to the dress code, students and teachers are a little weary about the changes, but they're going to have to deal with them regardless. I'm Najee Honoré, and this has been your Climber News story for the day.
While it will be a few years until UHS students move into a new building, many people are working behind the scenes to shape the process. Coral Coltis brings us the update.
The exciting things happening at Urbana is the process for the new school buildings. The high school will be going through some major changes, and the kindergarten through 8th grade will be built by the YMCA. Some people have been meeting in order to talk about the new schools and the layout. The teachers, Mr. Pine and Mr. Evans, have been talking about the new school.
The committee works with the architects, other teachers in the building, the administration, to try to come up with a layout and a floor plan design of the building that hopefully the community will be happy with.
The committee so far has helped with the physical layout of the building, which way it faces. At one point it was kind of an L shape, now it's back to all the one straight line where it's facing towards Wood Street. We wanted to kind of stay away as far away as we can from the houses that are behind the school. We also want to make sure that all the school windows that face one way or the other weren't necessarily all looking back behind us towards those places. We want to be able to see Wood Street and see the football field and things like that. So.
Another issue, the classroom size. The teacher's desk might be in the collaboratory room, which means that this room is not their classroom, but a place for their desks and materials. Some teachers may walk to a different classroom, so each classroom has extra teachers for help. None of the classrooms will be empty throughout the day or the year.
And with the square footage that we're being allotted by the states, we don't have enough room for everyone to have their own room. So the idea is to make as much use of the space as you can. We don't want empty classrooms. So that'll be one of the biggest changes, I think, for everyone involved, especially for the teachers. Probably won't be as big for the students, although they'll have to kind of search out where their teacher is and making arrangements to know where to meet them if they need help. So that'll be one of the biggest changes, I think, as far as it's really a change. You know, we've done what kind of everyone's had their own room for probably 100 years in education. So moving to that more collaborative type of learning will be a change for everyone.
With Climbers News, this is Coral Coltis signing off.
The UHS football team has had its ups and downs this season, but is poised to build a brighter future thanks to the new man in charge. Dylan Hasford profiles new head coach John Daniels.
The new head football coach at Urbana High School is Coach John Daniels. Coach Daniels was a defensive coordinator at Spring Row, which is in the South GWAC Conference. In high school, Coach Daniels played at Springfield South and played middle linebacker and fullback. In college, he played an outside linebacker, defensive end type. Coach Daniels did 1 year at Wittenberg, then joined the military for 6 years because of financial issues. Then after his service, went back to Wittenberg and played football for another 3 years and earned his social studies degree. Coach Daniels is excited for the opportunity he has here at Urbana.
Great tradition, great football tradition, great town that supports its football program, great community where people are going to come out and support you and have your back, but then also raise blue-collar, tough kids that are willing to come to work every day and give their best effort, and that's important to me.
Coach Daniels' goal for the program is for players to maximize their potential day in, day out. The current climbers believe Coach Daniels is the man that can help the players reach that potential.
What do I think about Coach Daniels? Well, this guy gets me pumped up for football. I mean, I love football. I probably love him too. He gets me pumped up. No other person in this world could probably get me pumped up as much as he does. He loves defense. I love defense. I love screaming. He loves screaming. Football. I love him too.
I think Coach Daniels is a great addition to the Urbana football team and also just the school in general and the community here. He's a great guy all around, and I think he tries to bring out the best in people that he surrounds himself with, especially our football players and also the coaches and everyone. So I think he's going to bring a lot to the table here for Urbana.
I think he's got a really dynamic personality. He brings a lot of excitement to the team, and as fans, we really enjoyed watching him on the sideline last Friday night.
He brings a lot of juice to the team. He makes us get pumped. He makes us feel ready to play. He gives us hope. So yeah.
We sure wish Coach Daniels the best of luck with his career here at Urbana. For Climbers News, I'm Dylan Hasford.
CrossFit is a training program that has swept the country. Junior high teacher Nathan Long is bringing CrossFit here to everyone in Urbana.
A crazy athlete named Mr. Long is not just an instructor in the gym, but is also an instructor of algebra and world studies in the junior high of Urbana. By day, he is teaching students the quadratic formula and European history, while by night, he is teaching his clients at Long Road CrossFit how to jump, squat, and thrust dumbbells. Mr. Long talks about how he got into CrossFit.
The main reason for being involved in CrossFit, I played college baseball. My wife ran track in college, and we were looking for something competitive to do after playing college sports, and we found CrossFit, and it was something that we could stay in shape, that would keep us in shape, and it was constantly changing, and we really liked it and enjoyed it, rather than doing like half marathon runs and things like that, which we did a little bit before we found CrossFit. So that's kind of what sparked our interest in it, was just being competitive and always having a reason to work out from the athletic standpoint.
While living in St. Peter's and teaching at Piqua, Mr. Long drove to Troy to work out. After earning his teaching job at Urbana, with his wife's help, he decided to invest in a gym here locally.
Why not open something local that we both have the desire and love to do? She coached track and cheerleading, and I coached boys basketball.
Teaching not only students in the classroom, but also in the gym, Mr. Long is living the dream.
For Climber News, this is Ty Horsley.
My favorite teacher is Mr. Trenner. I mean, I've never had him as teacher, but if I did, I think that he'd be pretty cool. I play volleyball for Urbana High School as well as for Champaign County Sharks. I plan to attend college, majoring in biology and continuing to play volleyball. My favorite subject is Spanish because it is fun to learn a new language and experience a different country's culture. I'd like to give a shout out to my two best friends, Katie Cornute and Hunter Rogan, because they're the two best friends that anyone could have.
My favorite teacher is Mrs. Denias because she has a bad rep, but she's actually really fun in class. English, because I really have fun at English and I don't have to try, but I'm really good. I like to draw and run outside. Running makes me feel really good. I like to give a shout out to my mom because she raised me really well. I want to go to OSU because I think that'd be really fun and I really like the school.
Well, that does it for this edition of Climber News. Thank you for joining us.
Be sure to check out more Hill Climber Productions programming and the next Climber News.
And he is being escorted tonight by his daughters, UHS graduates Olivia and Adeline. Lance began his career at Urbana High School in 1985 teaching English, but transferred to the Social Studies Department the following year, where he remained until his retirement in 2015. Throughout the course of his teaching career, 15 students have recognized Lance at the annual academic banquet as an outstanding educator. Mr. Jackson has not only left his mark in the classroom, but on the court, and field as well. Throughout his career at Urbana, he coached boys and girls golf, tennis, basketball, and track, as well as girls soccer. In his free time, Mr. Jackson enjoys supporting the St. Louis Cardinals and spending time with his wife and daughters. He would like to thank the UHS Student Council and all of his former students for the honor of being named Grand Marshal of this year's Homecoming Parade. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Lance Jackson. And now it's time to introduce the 2015 Homecoming Court. Our first one is Olivia Dunham. Parents Randy and Debbie Dunham, escorted by her father Dunham and grandfather Richard Vermillion. She's involved on the volleyball team. Our next homecoming court is Hannah Newman, escorted by her parents, Dennis and Heather Newman, escorted by her brother Josh Newman, and is involved in the volleyball team. Our next one is Mara Evans, parents Eric and Janine Evans, escorted by her father, Eric Evans. She's involved in the girls soccer team, the student council, and junior class president. Next we have Miss Kendra Arnett, parents Chad and Diane Arnett, escorted by her father, Chad Arnett. She's on the cross-country team and plans to become a nurse. Next we have is Miss Macy Pierce, parents David and Kelly Pierce, escorted by her father, David Pierce. She has become a fashion designer. Next we have is Emma Burnside, parents Doug and Christine Burnside, escorted by her father Doug Burnside, She's involved on the girls soccer team as the captain, the National Honor Society historian, and plans to become a speech pathologist. Next we have is Miss Cyril Lingrol, escorted by her father Matthew Lingrol, parents Matt and Christy Lingrol. She plans to become an English teacher, is involved on the girls soccer team as the captain, student council president, National Honor Society vice president, and the senior class president. And now we have Miss Lily Jones, parents Robert and Tina Jones, escorted by her father, Robert Jones. She's involved in the student council, the National Honor Society, and plans to become a designer. Last year's homecoming queen, Tori Quisenberry, is also here with us tonight. She is the daughter of Ron and Melanie Quisenberry. Tori is being escorted tonight by her father and would like to address this year's court members.
Is there anything better than Friday Night Lights at Plaza Stadium? It feels so great to be home. Congratulations to all you ladies out here on homecoming court and to all the ones who are finalists. You're all beautiful inside and out. Now let's be the night.
And now for your 2015 homecoming queen, Miss Lily Jones.
all my friends. You guys are all my queens. I love you guys all, and go Climbers!
Congratulations, Lily. Thank you to Lance, Tori, and all of our court members for being here.